pasta. I would love for you to make fresh pasta. If you want me to show you how, get on that pack, huddle, what is it called? The huddle pack? And ask for it. I'll show you how. But I know most of you have dry pasta at home. I have whole wheat fettuccine. I have whole wheat rigatoni. But guess what we do? Most of us. Well, actually, I don't do it. But until somebody taught me, is that we bring water to a boil, we add pasta into it, we strain it, and we use it, correct? Wrong. When you do that, a lot of your flavor, a lot of your starch is left in the water that you're straining. So how do we do that? So I'm going to show you a really great trick. And we're going to I'm going to make a little pasta. In this case, this is what I want to use. Okay? And I'm going to cover it with water. Just enough water to cover the pasta, no more. See that? So you can put more, add more water. And I'm going to bring that to a boil. See that? I'm going to take my fettuccine. I'm going to do the same thing, except for now here, I have a very small amount of water. I'm just going to put it there. I bet your grandmother did not teach you how to do that. How is that pasta going to go in there? How is it going to get in there? I will show you. While that's happening and working, we're going to come back here and we're going to prep our garlic. So I cut a little bit. You take your garlic, you cut the sides right here. See that? And then with the skin on, and do me a favor, be safe. Make sure that the knife, the edge of the knife that's sharp is on the outside and that you are right here, and tilt it so you can never get hurt. Tilt the knife. You see that? Hey, Zazu, shut up. And then this. By allowing the skin to stay on, you are making sure that, you know, no wonder I can't get on the Food Network. Every video has a bunch of shit in it. Okay? So, again, cut the edge. Cut the edge. The skin is still on. By crushing the garlic, I'm allowing the garlic not to disperse all over the place. So we're going to do that again. See how beautiful that is? And now, my wife who wanted me to take my glasses off. How am I going to cut the... Oh, the swearing. I miss the swearing, guys. Don't you guys miss it? Well, actually, it's not swearing. It's colorful language, and it's all French, by the way. Do you guys know that the French invented that word? So I'm really simply chopping my garlic nicely. So nicely. As you're cutting, another trick, make sure that your fingers are inside and you're holding it like that. The worst thing that can happen is that you will scrape, but this you will cut. Jake Vernon, go like this, okay? It's very safe. So, cut my garlic, and I want to go over with you the number one mistake that people make with garlic. It's, well, actually, there's two mistakes. Either they are not cooking them right, or they are not cooking them enough, but they are never cooked properly. So what we're going to do right now is make a fettuccine ai, which means a garlic fettuccine. One of the simplest, one of the most voluptuous, richest, awesomest dish you can make that requires very, very, very little ingredients. So number one, heat up my pan. Correct? So you see my pasta right here while it's happening. my pasta at that bottom is gonna start slowly, it's gonna start bending, and then I'm gonna be able to put the pasta. Right here you can see the pasta cooking beautifully. In most cases, by the time the pasta is al dente, which means almost cooked, and nice and hard, the water is gone. And you're going to be left maybe with very little water. That's when we're going to add our sauce into that pasta. That means we have not lost any flavor. All the starch is there. And whatever water that's left there is going to be nice and thick, and it's going to enrich our sauce. So, little oil. And now I'm going to make my the fettuccine was not moving because I didn't have the heat on. And my wife was pointing to the heat. Thank you, Lori. So, but the water was hot, so that's why it was nicely moving. So I want you to look at this. So my garlic is here. One of the reasons most people love garlic, and if you don't like garlic, please turn this video off. But most people who love garlic don't eat it enough or don't eat as much just because the bad breath or whatever. If you cook garlic properly, you are going to have such an incredibly intense, rich flavor and not even have the garlic scent for a second. You're going to have a wonderful, earthy, buttery aroma. So in order for to do that, you need to have the oil at medium heat. Once the heat is hot, you turn it down to medium heat. And Lori, can you bring the camera? And what I want to do right now is start browning that garlic. I'd rather you burn the garlic a little bit than keep it white. It needs, when the garlic is white, that means acidity is still there. That means salt hasn't come out. And more importantly, the natural garlic sugar is not there. My grandma used to make garlic and roast it so beautifully. It was crazy how good it was. And then puree it and mix it with a jelly and make a garlic jelly that was so good. And we would spread it on bread, top it with gorgonzola, pine nuts, and it was like, and fresh apples. It was amazing. So if anytime you do garlic, this is what you need to do. You need to caramelize it. So a lot of people would have stopped a long time ago. You're not even close right now. You need to keep going. See that? Beautiful. While the garlic is cooking, same pan, I'm going to look at my rigatoni. Most of that water is almost gone. My fettuccine is starting to bend. And I'm going to help it a little bit. I've already made a marinara sauce, but I can also show you how to make it. There's many wonderful products out there, organic, good tomato sauces that you can use from the jar. That's fine as well. But I want to show you how to incorporate your sauce into your pasta very shortly. You see my garlic right now? How beautiful it is. White one in the fridge. My wife, if she didn't drink all the wine, she's going to try and get it right now. See, right? Oh, this is so good. We're going to get a nice little dry wine. And we're going to make our sauce. So right now we have oil, we have garlic. And if you can see how beautiful this is. Can you show them how the fettuccine is going in? It's good. Okay, let's go back to the rigatoni. Let's go back to look at my garlic. Right now, it's what I'm calling a candied garlic, which is a caramel garlic. How to open a bottle of wine? Cut the foil. Make sure you're sideways. Don't go this way. Sideways right here, and put the tip in the middle and go in. Don't go in all the way because you will break the cork and some of it will go down. The cork is made, the screw is made so most of them will go through 80% of the cork. And, no, just kidding. So look at my garlic. So my garlic is done. I'm going to right now deglaze my pan with white wine. All this alcohol is going to go away. See how all my pasta is going in? So I'm putting just enough in there. I'm going to turn off my rigatoni. Look at that. See how my rigatoni is ready? Turn it off. And now I'm going to finish my rigatoni by adding my sauce into it. I'm adding my sauce, and what's going to happen is I'm going to put it under low heat. I'm going to make sure that the rigatoni right now, which is totally open and moist, I want the pasta. Have you had pasta and you couldn't taste the sauce in the pasta? You had to keep adding a lot of sauce. The more sauce you're adding on the pasta, that means somebody didn't cook the pasta right. So by doing it like this, I'm making the pasta really flavorful. I could literally, by the time I'm done, eat it without any sauce. So, and we'll go over a pasta recipe on our next class, but right now I figured most of you will have beautiful tomato sauce. So I'm gonna let it finish right now. Look at that. While it's finishing under low heat, I'm gonna check on my fettuccine. See how my fettuccine is doing? I'm going to increase my heat on my white wine. A little black pepper. A little salt. And what I'm doing in here right now is that I am burning the white wine. I'm burning the alcohol off. And getting that acidity, that vinegar out, and just introducing the richness of the grapes. You don't have to use white wine. If you have a vegetable stock, do that. I'm trying to keep this vegetarian, vegan for all practical purposes, and we're going to do a class about proteins later. Hopefully this corona thing is not going to last that many classes. But if it does, I'm ready. And what I'm doing right now is reducing and making a beautiful base. Guess what's going to go in here and get finished? This fettuccine that is part cooked. So my rigatoni is done in a minute. My fettuccine is working. Correct? My sauce is working. While that's reducing, I'm going to make some roasted Brussels sprouts. So it's one of my favorite things in the world, Brussels sprouts. So here's the idea. There's two schools of thought. Cut the stem, cut in half. No problem. Of course, you knew there's a female school of thought. Cut the stem only and leave it alone. And keep these right here. So I'm going to do that with a few real quick. And the reason I like it whole is because I like the outside to be overdone, crunchy, but still allow the inside to be nicely cooked and moist. Guess what I didn't do with these Brussels sprouts? Mrs. Fima, what I didn't do with these Brussels sprouts? I didn't blanch them. I didn't steam them first.
That would not be my
I'm
guess.
gonna allow the whole thing to happen in the oven. That's gonna allow me to cook the Brussels sprout all the way through. And at the same time, keep the interior nice and moist while the exterior is nice and crunchy. I'm gonna take my Brussels sprouts right here. And these leaves out here. I'm gonna take olive oil. I'm gonna take balsamic vinegar. A little black pepper. A little salt. My oven is at 425. Do not coat the pan, do not do anything to the pan. And I'm going to put my Brussels sprouts in there. There's a reason why I'm doing all of this in one shot. It's because I want to show you how it is to make a fettuccine, a rigatoni, Brussels sprouts, and omelette in 45 minutes. So it's just a matter of knowing. See how my pasta right now, it's al dente. I'm gonna take it and I'm gonna cook it. I'm gonna finish cooking it in here. Look at that. Right now, this doesn't have a lot of flavor besides the garlic. And I'm going to show you how we're going to finish the flavor in here. I'm going to take if you have fresh herbs, this is the time to put them. If you have dry herbs, that's also the case. A little oregano, basil, thyme, fresh olive oil. Now the olive oil is not being cooked, it's just staying warm. And that's it. This is one of the most beautifully simple pasta there is. And it has such wonderful quality to it. The simplicity of this pasta is mind-blowing. A little sauce for that beautiful bread that you can dip it in there. A little Parmesan if you're not vegan. You know those pine nuts? This is a good time to add those pine nuts. And why not? A little goat cheese if you want to. The reason I'm showing you all of this is that you can be creative. This is a time where we all have plenty of time and we can be really creative with all of this. This is coming to the Lexus Club on the next freaking game, and it better be quick. Our wonderful rigatoni. It's done. And look at it. Look how red that rigatoni is, because it absorbed all the tomato sauce. And look at it, it's not falling apart. It's very tubular. It's pretty. Isn't it pretty, honey?
So pretty.
Yeah. And it's perfectly ready to go. Now, some of you have kids. You can do the rigatoni just like that, without the tomato sauce. You can add, and then add cream, add a little butter, add a little cheese, and make a rigatoni sort of a mac and cheese. Really very, very simple.